Get this. Millions of Americans could see their Social Security benefits slashed by 22%. Yeah, that's not some dystopian future. That's a real possibility right now as Social Security teeters on the brink of insolvency.
And adding to the intrigue, you've got Elon Musk at the helm of government efficiency, and he's got his sights set on those trillions of dollars flowing through programs like Social Security.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Before we get into the details, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss future episodes like this.
Definitely. We're going to break down exactly what's happening, what it means for you, and what you can do about it.
First things first, we got to understand why everyone's talking about Social Security going broke.
Right. The program's projected to become insolvent in less than a decade. And if we don't see significant reforms, across the board, benefit cuts are on the table. And that 22% figure, yeah, that's what the experts are predicting.
Okay, so that's the ticking time bomb. But where does Elon Musk fit into all this?
Well, President Trump appointed him to lead the Department of Government Efficiency, which, get this, has access to the federal systems that handle Social Security and Medicare payments.
The White House insists that access is read-only. But, I mean, come on. It's Elon Musk. The guy is known for shaking things up.
Exactly. And one of his main goals is to identify and eliminate fraud and wasteful spending. Think of it as like optimizing the system.
Makes sense. So where is he looking for these potential savings?
Well, one area that's probably under scrutiny is seniors who work while they're collecting Social Security benefits. There are over 11 million Americans, over 65, who are still working and receiving benefits.
No, that's not necessarily a bad thing. People should be able to work if they want to.
Absolutely. But the issue is some of these folks might be receiving overpayments, or they're not completely complying with the rules about how much they can earn while they're collecting benefits.
I see. So Musk and his team are digging into that to see if there are any loopholes or if benefits are being paid out that shouldn't be.
Precisely. They're looking for inefficiencies and potential cost savings. And this is where it gets interesting for you. Have you ever thought about how working after retirement might affect your Social Security benefits, especially with these potential changes?
That's a great question for our listeners. If you're finding this breakdown helpful, hit that like button to let us know.
Now, this scrutiny of potential overpayments, it's just one piece of the puzzle. Another major development that could impact Social Security is the federal worker buyout program.
Right, the delayed resignation incentive.
Right.
Offered to millions of federal employees. What exactly does that mean?
It's basically a voluntary separation incentive, encouraging employees to retire early. They'll receive a financial incentive to leave their positions between now and the end of September.
And the White House is expecting a significant number of people to take this offer.
Yep. Estimates are somewhere between 50,000 and 100,000 employees. And here's why this is relevant to Social Security. A lot of those federal employees, they work for the Social Security Administration, an agency that's already dealing with a huge backlog of cases.
So if they lose a bunch of their workforce, things are just going to get slower.
Exactly. The average wait time for things like benefit eligibility determination, it's already over 200 days. Imagine how long it'll be with fewer people processing those claims.
Plus, it's not just delays and backlogs we have to worry about. Losing those workers means fewer contributions to the Social Security Trust Fund, which just adds fuel to that whole insolvency problem.
It's a ripple effect, really. You reduce the workforce, processing times get slower, and you see a decrease in contributions, all while the number of people who are eligible for those benefits just keeps going up.
Sounds like President Trump's little bit of pain for us could end up being a real headache.
Yeah, I'd say so. And that pain could show up in a few ways, like maybe stricter requirements for eligibility.
So they'll make it harder to qualify for benefits.
Exactly. They could raise the retirement age, meaning you'd have to work longer before you can collect anything. Or maybe they'd introduce means testing, so benefits are reduced or even completely eliminated for people with higher incomes.
Wow, that'd be a huge shift. Social Security has always been for everybody, as long as you paid into it.
Right, and that's why all these potential changes are causing so much controversy. There's a real worry that lower income folks could be hit the hardest. They're the ones who depend on Social Security the most.
It's like walking a tightrope, isn't it? Trying to make sure the program stays afloat, but also protect the people who need it most.
You got it. And there's another possible change that gets right to the heart of that balancing act. Adjustments to how cost of living adjustments are calculated. You know, CLAs.
Okay, break that down for us. What are CLAs and why are they so important?
CLAs are yearly increases to Social Security benefits. They're meant to keep up with inflation so your money doesn't lose its buying power.
So like if the price of milk goes up, your Social Security check goes up too.
That's the idea, yeah. But the way CLAs are calculated right now, well, it might not really reflect the real costs seniors are facing, especially when it comes to healthcare.
Yeah, healthcare costs are through the roof. So even with those CLAs, seniors could still be falling behind.
That's the big concern. One solution that's been proposed is to change the formula for calculating CLAs. Maybe switch to an index that's more in line with the actual spending patterns of older Americans.
But wouldn't that make the CLAs smaller?
It's possible, and that's the tough part. A different index might be a more accurate way to measure inflation for seniors, but it could also mean smaller increases each year, which would put even more pressure on people who depend heavily on Social Security.
So it's like choosing between two not-so-great options. Accuracy or the size of the benefit.
That's it in a nutshell, and it brings us back to you, our listeners. How would you feel about adjusting those CLA calculations? Would you rather have accuracy or a bigger increase? Let us know in the comments, and hey, don't forget to give this episode a like if you're finding this discussion helpful.
It's a lot to digest, that's for sure. I mean, we're talking about changing a program that millions of Americans rely on for their financial security. No small thing.
It's definitely a lot. And all these changes are happening at a time when things are kind of shaky economically and people are living longer. That means they're drawing on those Social Security benefits for a longer time too.
It's a tangled web with no simple solutions. But one thing's for sure, the decisions we make today will have an impact for years to come.
You're absolutely right. And that's why these conversations are so important, to really understand what's going on and to talk about it in a way that makes sense.
It's not just about numbers on a page. We're talking about real people's lives, their ability to retire with some dignity and security.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And that leads us to another potential area for reform, the way Social Security benefits are taxed.
Wait, taxes on Social Security? I thought the whole point was you pay into it while you're working and then you get to enjoy it tax-free in retirement.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite that straightforward. Right now, part of your benefits might be taxable. It all depends on your overall income.
So not everyone who gets Social Security pays taxes on it.
No, it's based on what they call your combined income. That includes your adjusted gross income, any non-taxable interest, and then half of your Social Security benefits.
Okay, so if your combined income is above a certain amount, then some of your Social Security becomes taxable.
Exactly. And the problem is, those thresholds haven't been adjusted for inflation in a long time. So more and more people are finding themselves having to pay taxes on their benefits.
I see. So even if you're not making a ton more money, you could still end up paying more taxes on your Social Security just because those thresholds haven't kept up with inflation.
That's right. And that's why some folks in Congress are saying we need to change how Social Security is taxed, maybe by raising those thresholds or even getting rid of the tax altogether for certain income levels.
Feels like there's a lot to juggle here. A lot of different things policymakers could try to do to keep Social Security going.
Definitely. And we have to remember, these changes aren't happening in a vacuum. There's all sorts of stuff going on in the economy, changes in demographics and political debates about what the government should and shouldn't be doing.
So, big picture, what does this mean for our listeners? Whether they're about to retire or still have a ways to go, what can they do to get ready for all this uncertainty?
Well, first things first, you got to stay informed. Know what's going on with Social Security, pay attention to the news, read articles, have conversations like we're having right now.
You know what they say? Knowledge is power. The more you understand what's at stake, the better decisions you can make.
Couldn't agree more. And the next step, take a good look at your own finances, your retirement plan. Think about these potential Social Security changes and how they might affect your income and expenses down the road.
And don't be afraid to get some professional advice. A financial advisor can help you figure all this out and come up with a plan that works for you.
Yeah, a good advisor can be a lifesaver, especially when things are up in the air like this.
Well, we covered a lot of ground today, but hopefully this gives everyone a better idea of what Social Security is up against and what kind of changes might be coming.
It's complicated, no doubt, but it affects every single one of us. By staying in the loop, having these conversations, and planning ahead, well, maybe we can make sure Social Security is there for future generations.
And that's what it's all about. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. We'll keep breaking down these complex issues and give you the info you need to navigate this crazy world. Thanks for listening.